Welcome back to NO To Lashon Hara, day 51. This entire project is being done as a refuah shlema for Chana Bat Simafega. A lot of times Lashon Hara is not actually spoken about the person themselves. It might be spoken about somebody's property or his merchandise or his business, but it is damaging Lashon Hara nonetheless. The area that it is perhaps maybe most common in is in the world of business. Imagine I call someone and I tell them I'm thinking about buying their house, and I've narrowed it down between their house and the house on the corner. The person will waste no time telling me that house, it has a leak, it has termites, it has this problem, it has that problem, and the logic is pretty straightforward. If I can convince you that that house is bad, then you'll buy mine. That's the logic, and people say that's business. That's how you do business. You convince people to buy your product. However, the Chafetz Chaim explains that that's still Lashon Hara. You're speaking negatively about somebody else, damaging them through your words, because the person is likely not to buy that property because of you. A second reason might be that I have a jealousy over the fact that your house is better than mine, or that you bought it at a better price, so you're capable of selling it at a lower price and still making a profit, whereas I bought it at a higher price, and the only way I can make a profit is if I sell it at a price which is much higher than yours. So I figure out ways to illustrate that your merchandise or your house or your business is not as good as what I have. Now, the fact that you're just trying to do business doesn't make it not damaging talk, and does not make it allowed in terms of Lashon Hara. So how is a person supposed to do business if someone is asking to buy? Well, you could point out the things that are good about your property, leaving that person to do the research about those elements and how they compare in the other house. But decide practically, I don't speak about my competitors' products. I don't speak about other people's homes. I can only speak authoritatively about mine. You're free to go and measure up which house is better fit for you, but I'm going to only speak about what I have and what the value is in my product. The Chafetz Chaim continues with one other element. He started by talking about the fact that people don't think that things that are related to the world of business are Lashon Hara, but obviously they are. However, the Chafetz Chaim explains that there's a lot of times when a person will be standing there with someone else, and the first person will say, this house is terrible, it's not a great house, and the person then turns to you. You're standing next to the person who just spoke Lashon Hara, and you thinking, all right, well, he's already said that. You just say, yeah, that he's totally right. You agree. Now you think that the Lashon Hara has already been spoken, so I didn't really add anything, but the truth is that the concept of Lashon Hara is speech that causes damage. If one person comes and tells me Lashon Hara about something, I'm liable to think to myself, you know what, this person, he may have a vendetta, they may not get along, he may have some sort of agenda as to why he wants me to buy his house, so he's going to talk down about somebody else's place, or something like that. So the fact that one person said it, maybe might convinces him 50%. When the second person corroborates that information, the likelihood of him listening to that Lashon Hara skyrockets. So when a second person says Lashon Hara, even immediately following a first person, that also is Lashon Hara and is forbidden.